Hello world, it's me, Julian Venables, I'm an astrologer, and I'm here to talk to you today about Saturn going back into Capricorn, and with that to reflect on events of the last couple of days, the Jupiter-Pluto conjunction in Capricorn and Mercury in Cancer making an alignment to Uranus in Taurus. So the theme at the moment is very much one of earthiness. There's a very much earthy. There are other elements at play as well, but the earthiness is very strong at the moment, particularly now Saturn has moved back into Capricorn. So that's where we're going to start today. Saturn is going to be now retrograde until the end of September, and in this sign of its rulership, which is Capricorn. It will then start to move forwards again, and it will change signs in December to Aquarius, where it will then stay for the next 3 years. So we've got this final phase of Saturn in Capricorn now, and in a way one could say this is the setting into stone, or the setting into place. A lot of personal ambition, a lot of work, a lot of orientation around your career and your ambitions and your status in life. Everybody has had a massive global reset that started, technically speaking, really in January with the coronavirus. The lockdown sort of ended a lot of people's ambitions and careers. But in doing so, it has given everybody new options, new ideas, new concepts to work with, that they can change the boundaries, the limitations that previous work situations had on them. And this is going to be a continuing movement because it's like a rebirth. The Saturn-Pluto conjunction of January the 12th was a rebirth. And now we're in that rebirth, we're living it. And this sets the course for the next 30 years, if you like, of career. In each of us, not only in the way the world structures itself, but it's in each of us. So Saturn now moving back into Capricorn will, if you like, crystallize or condense or consolidate some of the good ideas you've been having of the last few months. And now the time is to work out whether you can really do what you want to do. And of course you will be able to do what you really want to do. So it's about realigning to fit that process, if you like. And so that's Saturn in Capricorn, generally speaking. It's definitely about responsibility and commitment. It's about duty and obligation. And it's about the things that you feel you have to do in life. So it's the things that, with Saturn, there may have been something that's holding you back for a long time. That's the very nature of Saturn is to be like that. But as you go through holding back and delaying things, so you become more experienced in it until eventually you gain self-mastery in whatever area Saturn holds you back in. So now that's part of that reflective process. Within that is the Jupiter-Pluto Capricorn, but the Jupiter-Pluto conjunction, also in Capricorn. Jupiter is the planet of opportunities, expansion, and an enlarging of one's sphere, if you like, of influence. Pluto is the depths of the shadow, if you like. Sometimes it's the hidden things in our psyche that we don't necessarily connect to or find out about. Then it pops up, stuff happens. So with Pluto and Capricorn, of course, we're seeing a whole makeover or a whole reconfiguration of the structures of the world. Jupiter bringing opportunity for new structures, but Jupiter is in its fall in Capricorn. So with that, maybe things aren't as strong as they could be. And at the moment, the retrograde is reviewing everything. So, but the headline of the day that I want to show you, actually, the headline of the day today, the one that I think actually encapsulates quite a lot of what's happening, would be this, that the Royal Albert Hall, I don't know if you can see that, the Royal Albert Hall could go bust by its 150th anniversary next year without urgent help. The Royal Albert Hall could go bust without urgent help. That's actually a headline today on Thursday the 2nd of July 2020. Now, the Royal Albert Hall, you see, I would associate with great British institutions, something we've always grown up with, the proms, you know, the eminence and the status of the Royal Albert Hall is a huge thing. And the Saturn-Pluto conjunction has undermined the institutional status of that, the respect. Things seem to be, you know, everything seems to be running out of funding, you know, of the support that it needs. And in a way, that's the sense of the institution. Things are running out on the institutions of the world. There's not so much respect as there was, maybe, you know, not so much of support of the hierarchical structure. And in a way, that sort of sense of reduction or limitation on that is going to result in headlines like that. Royal Albert Hall, well, it's going to go bust. What are we going to do? So we have to start thinking in terms of futuristic, new methods of working within the current setup to create new ventures. So in your life, Jupiter-Pluto conjunction is about seeing the new and bigger thing that you can create out of your life that's ambitious. And no doubt with the retrograde these last couple of days, you've been thinking a lot about what you can do. There's something to look forward to in all that. And there's something about having that awareness that if you climb your own mountain, you can, you know, gain your own position in life. And that's a little bit Jupiter-Pluto as well. So have a think about that. Overcome any problems, as it were, to create new and better foundations for yourself. The last aspect I want to talk about today, and I'll get the board up actually because, you know, it's a reflection board today because it's stuff that's kind of happened and we're looking ahead again. So Saturn's back into Capricorn until December. Jupiter-Pluto happened 3 days ago. It comes back on November the 12th. So whatever started over the next last couple of days, or rather reflected on over the last couple of days, that'll come back on November the 12th. That's the culminating point. So you can look at things like that sort of headline and see, well, what is it that we can, in your life, you know, what is it that you can bring a new support to or recreate a structure or a foundation. The other aspect I want to talk about today is Mercury retrograding Cancer. This is about feelings, sensitivities. It's about making decisions. It's about having ideas that are very nurturing, feeling-oriented type of stuff. The Sun is in Cancer at the moment as well. And Mercury just made a good aspect to Uranus in Taurus, which was yesterday. This actually comes back on the 22nd of July. This can be, again, about family-based decisions and value systems that are changing. You know, do you look at your family and think, well, there's so many things I could do with them. There's other things I could do. You know, maybe we need to look at the idea of each generation of your family or your connections to people, you know, and see how you develop with them by expressing feelings, by having a shared or different value system. There's something progression, some evolution, something changing that's different that can come through. And it's earthy and watery. Earth and water. So it's receptive. It's something that's internalized. It's not outwardly expressed very much. This is something that's kept kind of within oneself. So it's like an internalized decision-making process within the emotional context, and an internalized, grounded processing, if you like, that allows you to move forwards into exciting new ideas and ways of doing things. This comes back on the 22nd of July. So between now and then we've also got an eclipse. I'm going to talk about that soon. And the Sun was going to oppose Jupiter and Pluto in 10 days. And the Sun will also oppose Saturn just around about 21st of July as well. So It's about where you're going in the world, and it's about where you're coming from. And that ultimately is it. You know, what is your tree like? The roots of your tree. Cancer, the crab, is the roots and the foundations of things. The canopy of the tree, the trunk of the tree is reaching up through life, growing, stabilizing, building a foundation into the canopy of the tree, which is then the status, the public achievement, where you're going, how you want to be seen in the world. And when you have a lot of planets moving through there, plus an eclipse that's about to happen, a full moon eclipse, there's a lot about releasing, it's a full moon eclipse, releasing the structures that we've come to rely on in order to rebuild anew. So there's Jupiter is very trusting. There's something about trusting that we can rebuild something new in your own life, trusting what you can rebuild anew, what you can make, what you can do. And this is going to be very beneficial in the long run. So we've collectively, I think there's a lot about rearranging. Rearrangements are going to be happening. And it's good. It's all good in the long run. There may be difficulties to get there and challenges. And for certain people, it feels like it might be the end of the road or something. But, you know, when one door closes, another door opens. So you've got to kind of see that as opportunities. And I think that really brings up the culmination of this relatively short video today. I do have to apologise a bit to my subscribers because I've got a lot of 12th house stuff going on at the moment, and the days stretch on. I'm really focusing on gardening and things like that, which is good for me. I love my astrology. I do a lot of readings every day as well, and the thing is I'm really needing to spend that little bit of time to reflect on processing as well, and I sense a very big beginning, a new rebirth occurring in the world, and sometimes you have to, before getting back onto stage, if you like, you have to kind of be prepared for things, and in a sense, this is a preparing oneself for something. So it's a very interesting time that we're in. So I hope all that helps. I hope that gives you some interesting insights. And I'll be back again soon. Please, in the meantime, if you have enjoyed listening to this, please do subscribe to my channel, which I do believe is somewhere around about here, red button below the screen, and then there's a thumbs up. Always welcome to give me thumbs up, and thank you very much for any comments. And I hope I'll be speaking to you very soon at the eclipse, if not before. Speak to you again, and take care. Peace, love and goodwill to all. Bye for now.